Look, my assumption was that 317 was going to decide whether or not Charles Oliveira continues fighting. I figured if Charles gets put away, he hangs the gloves up, retires with everybody's respect, because when Ilya shut his lights off, it was one of those knockouts where, well, first of all, he hasn't been knocked out in a long time. The last time Charles Oliveira got knocked out, it was Paul Felder in 2017, and he was 28 years old. He's 35 now, and the way he looked after Topuria dusted him, it just dead guy. Now, when he took that knockout to Paul Felder, he did only take 6 months between Felder and Guida, and he was able to choke Guida out in the first round. We could be seeing that type of result with the turnaround he's making. He's 35 years old, and he's not 28 anymore. Ilia Topuria has way more heat in his hands than Paul Felder, and that knockout was just brutal, dude. It was hard to watch. It was hard to rewatch this fight just for the purposes of this video, and I'm probably not going to rewatch that fight when this video's done unless I need to for a future video. It's fucking hard to watch. He was looking up at goddamn Mark Goddard like a stroke victim, dude. Ilya gave him Men in Black face. And I understand what Charles is seeing despite the fucking coming off. How is it even legal? Was Charles not put under a medical suspension? Can I find that out? I feel like after that knockout, he would have been put under some sort of medical suspension that would bar him from fucking fighting for at least 3 months. Nope. After checking, he did not receive a medical suspension from 317. I don't understand how that is. But, okay, given that information, let's just say Charles is going to be, for his age, 100%. I understand where he's coming from, going for Rafael. I get it. He sees a guy who's been a lot more technical than aggressive as of late, especially after he took that leg injury. When he fought Justin the first time, it was like, okay, that's a much more technical physique. Then after he took the leg injury and then fought Dustin again, it was like, wow, okay, he's getting uncomfortably technical. And then when he fought Ignacio Bahamondes, it's borderline boring. So Rafael Fiziev has evolved into a point fighter, and I understand that Charles Oliveira sees a path forward with the submissions, maybe not so much the knockout because Rafael is going to make that really hard, but I understand that Charles Oliveira probably sees an opportunity to get a sub here. I would assume that. He sees a tentative and probably sensitive in the knee area, Rafael Fiziev, and I did see one thing at UFC 317, if I could just bring up screenshots here. So it's about 30 seconds into the first round, and yeah, I don't know if Rafael is going to give him an opportunity like this, but the timing was so beautiful. They're both in close. Ilya goes for a jab that he commits to fully, and Charles just perfectly slips that jab. It doesn't even scrape a highlight. And at this point, in my opinion, if he goes for the single leg on Ilya's right leg, it's a takedown, period. But instead of a single leg, he wraps both arms around both legs, and it does not result in a takedown. It results into them fucking skirting across the cage, and I believe it also resulted in Charles being on his back. Now, what that tells me is that, I wish he had done that right. But that right there indicates to me that Charles Oliveira is going to be a cunt for Rafael Fiziev to deal with. It's not going to be a swinging. We're not going to see Charles Oliveira unless Rafael does some crazy shit. We're very likely not going to see Charles get his lights put out again. He might if Rafael Fiziev finds that button. But the way Rafael's fighting, he's not looking for the knockout as aggressively as he used to. Certainly not as aggressively as Ilya. And because of that, Charles is going to get in there and fucking turn Fight Night Rio de Janeiro into Fight Night fucking Rio de Jiu-Jitsu. So I think everybody should just calm down on the quick turnaround. I mean, we got to just accept that this was the best opportunity for him regardless. He's fucking old. He'd be the oldest lightweight champion by 3 years. So we have to understand that we're not dealing with Charles Oliveira in his prime. It should be over for Charles. It's not over, or at least he doesn't believe it's over. I personally think this could end up being fucking Tony 2.0, but Charles didn't receive a medical suspension. Bottom line, 317 did not receive any sort of medical suspension. So according to the doctors, he's good to go. And also, this is relevant. Ignacio Bahamondes and Rafael Fiziev didn't exactly fucking burn the house down, but Fiziev fought a week before Charles did. So it's a quick turnaround for both men. And really, I'm talking hopefully at this point. So I'm going to continue talking, hopefully, by showing you what this reminds me of. This reminds me of a slightly less intense version of Greg Rodriguez getting fucking absolutely beat to shit by Jared Cannonier, coming back 4 months later against a significantly more fresh, but still 37 years old Jack Hermanson, and fucking put him out like it was nothing. So I think about RoboCop. I'm clinging to it because fuck, I don't know what else to think. God, and he looks so slow against Ilya. Oh, he looks so slow. Shit. Charles' striking against Topuria, just when you look at it in comparison to when he fought Sarukian, I know there wasn't a lot of striking in the Sarukian fight, but the little bit of striking that there was, when you compare the two, the snap just doesn't seem to be there. The grappling is there. I think the grappling is gonna be there until fucking Charles is 39. But the snap and the effectiveness of his striking, I think 309 was the last time we saw that. I just do. And so based on that, I don't think we're going to be seeing him banging with Fiziev. I think he's going to go out there looking like fucking Marab. I just, unless he really believes he's got something to prove. If he thinks that Topuria knockout was a fluke, he might go out there and try to prove a point. But to me, UFC fucking Rio de Janeiro is going to be a glorified and moderately violent jiu-jitsu match. One thing that does look good for him is that his losses are... God, this is the same. I almost found myself using the same arguments just now that they used when Michael Chandler fought Patty. I was about to say that, you know, Charles is getting there in age and he's taking some tough losses, but look at how great the people he lost to are. It's like, that's what we were fucking saying with Michael Chandler, bro. Look at all of his awesome losses. It's like when it gets to a point where you're fucking using a loss to gauge how good someone is, I just feel like it's over. Oh, I just feel like it's over. It's just over, bro. And here's what's fucked. If he loses to Rafael Fiziev and then loses to, you know, Patty the Batty or something, or maybe he fights Justin Gaethje again, then you've got even more losses for the fucking introductory walkout people to go, look at all these great losses. We're just gonna have fucking Tony 2.0, and we're gonna have to live with it. Look, we just gotta pray that Fiziev throws a lot of kicks. We gotta pray that Charles catches one of those kicks, takes Fiziev's back, chokes him out, easy victory, and he can make another quick turnaround without the brain damage. That's what we hope for. If he can make a quick turnaround without the brain damage, he can go from Fiziev to Patty. If he fucking pulls this off, and Patty versus Hooker doesn't happen, or Patty versus whoever for a title eliminator doesn't happen, Charles can call for that, and he'll have an argument if he beats Fiziev. So that's what we hope for. He could do this. There's a way for Charles to do this. It's so unlikely that it hurts my soul, but there is a way to do this, and this is the best way. The way he's doing it right. The fact that he took this quick fight, fuck the brain damage, he took this fight quickly to use what's left of his youth for whatever it's worth, and it could work. He couldn't have waited till he was 36 and a half and his fucking head stopped hurting, because then he's 36 and a half. He should be taking this risk now, and then when he's 36 and a half, he could be going for another title eliminator. He's probably not going to win this fight to begin with, but if he does, title eliminator, fucking title by 37. That's the best route for Charles Oliveira. Oh, it's Tony 2.0. It's Tony 2.0. We're going to be a sad group of cunts for the next year and a half to 2 years to 3 years. Oh my God, please. Please, Charles. Retire in Rio. Hold on a second. Wait. No, this is part 2 to this fucking video. Hang on a second. I just fucking connected these dots. This is embarrassing for lightweight. Charles Oliveira, after being fucking destroyed, is already scheduled for another fight. Rafael Fiziev fought a fucking week before Charles did, already rebooked for a fight. It took the only two guys, besides Mateusz Gamrot, it took the only two guys in lightweight who are not a fucking card-carrying member of goddamn Poshtown to have something going on at lightweight. If Charles, before Poshtown resolves its fucking city ordinances, Charles Oliveira can wreck Rafael Fiziev and get right back in the mix. And here's the other thing, right? Arman Sarukian's probably going to beat Ilia Topuria. And the rematch between Arman and Charles is a lot more competitive than the rematch between fucking Charles and Ilia. And if everybody else in the division is gonna sit and fucking jerk off onto a cookie and fucking eat it, if Dan Hooker is gonna sit there and bitch about fucking how much money he makes when some tickets got canceled, if Justin Gaethje is gonna retire because he didn't get what he wants, and if Patty's gonna sit there and fucking act like the actual Ron Weasley of the UFC, Charles has a chance to get past all these bitches. Fuck him.